And now we move on to letters from around the world, part 2, in 10 minutes each, welcoming our first correspondent from the continent of Africa.
Freedom is a wonderful word. Our freedom was given to us by our parents and grandparents. Millions sacrificed their lives so we could enjoy it. Now we take freedom for granted, like oxygen. But our freedom is slowly being chipped away. Thousands of invisible battles are fought every day in front of our very own eyes. Increased government control, corporate corruption, red tape, social media censorship, surveillance, in the name of protection, fake news, price fixing, the list is endless. Start saying no. Our mission is to be instrumental in upholding our precious freedom, to move, to help you meet with distant relatives, to make business across borders, to build memories, to find that thing called love, to keep the world.
So thank you, Stephan. I'm sorry something happened to that video, but it's a powerful note with which to begin his letter from South Africa. Please welcome Stephan Ekbergh, CEO of Travelstart. Stephan, over to you.
Thanks, Juhun. So I wrote a letter to my daughter, and I wanted to read it to you. Dear Hannah, you're in Sweden, pregnant and happy, a country that shows its own way dealing with COVID, open, free, trusting its citizens. I'm in Cape Town here, stuck with your sisters and your mom, a country so different with draconian lockdown rules. 250,000 people arrested for not adhering to lockdown rules and wearing face masks. I wish I was there with you now. During your maternity leave, I would like for you to reconsider my offer for you to join the firm. So I wanted to share some thoughts with you from the bottom of my heart. 2/3 of the global population is coming out of lockdown now, and it's been the worst of times and maybe the best of times, as Charles Dickens once wrote. You know, I used to wake up here for the last couple of months, middle of the night, heart pounding, dripping of sweat, only wishing that I could go back to my nightmares because they were so much more pleasant to deal with than the reality that I had to face during daytime. Our business was and still is completely bombed out. 21 years of work disappearing in one go. 0 revenues and a big team wanting leadership, expecting enthusiasm, waiting for direction. You know, I've been gripping for every straw that I could find and told my team to do the same. And my heart really hurts thinking about how they have toiled. No end in sight when this will reopen. Okay, I want to be really honest with you. Before all this happened, we probably overplayed our hand. We did, everybody did. People's cravings became more flamboyant, and with too many choices, we've become grumpier. I probably was the worst. I was like a spoiled child. I would complain about long check-in lines, you know. I would complain about, you know, why the food was better on Qatar or if it was better on Emirates business class. If hotels didn't respond to my need for a perfect Caesar after 11 p.m. within 20 minutes, it was my constitutional right to take it out on social media. If the hotel was overbooked because of a full conference and my late arrival caused the hotel to release my reservation, it was my responsibility to take it out in rage. My opinion is everyone's interest, even though nobody gives a damn. You warned me, though, about not being hot-tempered on social media, so I did what you did. I deleted all my accounts before I became an embarrassment. You know, we've tried to satisfy every desire for more, new, different, unique. And we've gotten high on our own lust for growth. We were intoxicated about all the talks of disruption, disintermediation, big data, machine learning, personalization. Then we got an unwanted meeting with the future. It started as a subtle wind when we were in Japan, you remember? Yet another virus outbreak in China. So what's new? And then the so-called experts added their models. Bill Gates' old TED Talk started to resurface, and what Bill talks about we must listen to because he's very rich. Spineless politicians and media followed, and by the time it hits you know, all about it's a full-on global tsunami. Suddenly, everyone I knew became virology experts and knew everything about super spreaders and comorbidity. We started to use words like amid, unprecedented, social distancing, hot zones, pandemic, flatten the curve, herd immunity, lockdown, contact tracing, and furlough. Furlough. And then there was this thing about epistemic trespassing. That's when some idiot second guesses all the experts. I guess I'm one of them. Stay safe. Half-baked truth, flogged by data wankers, predicts the ultimate end of humanity. If you don't like it, well, go somewhere else. But the future everyone talked about sounded very much like 1984 to me. Control, surveillance, gray, dark, big governments, eyes everywhere to protect whatever was left of humanity. You, of course, have no idea what all this means. But I was born 15 years after World War II ended, and for the first 19 years of my life, the Soviets and their brainwashing was very real to us. Over the course of a few weeks now, humanity has suffered a personality crisis. People revise their values, relationships, priorities, choices. Conclusion, all is not well. Please give me the simple life. You know, I would give up anything to have a green tea at Mount Nelson with anyone. A plate of spaghetti at Massimus in Hout Bay would be a feast. Hearing the jet engines of Emirates roar before taking off at the airport would just bring tears to my eyes. I'm even hallucinating about going to Mario's and fix my hair. Actually, I wouldn't even mind going to the waterfront without a face mask. That would be so awesome. But it hit me, and this is my point. I'm standing on the shoulders of my parents and grandparents. Some died at the front lines in Russia. My grandpa on mom's side worked himself to death for a tiny pay, and I owe everything to them. It was because of them I could enjoy my freedom and travel anywhere I wanted. I grew most of my life when I traveled, and so did everybody else I know. You, your sisters, your brother, and the little one in your tummy must be allowed the same freedom and the same opportunity. You know, I remember being exposed to the poverty in favelas in Rio. It broke my heart, you know. When I first came to Africa, I experienced poaching, you know, and it filled me with rage. You know, I saw the northern light and it filled me with the awe of God's wonder, you know. When I was in India, I was at Taj Mahal and I studied the mosaics there, and it just blew me away, all the details. When I sent your sister to school in Hawaii, she and the world changed, you know. When people immigrate and build homes in new countries, social chains are broken and a new life is born. The freedom we once had didn't come lightly, and our job was never to serve the ogre of unsatisfiable tastes. 60-year-old wannabe millennials thirst for yet another experience to brag about. My job, our job as an industry is so much more important. We are defenders of our freedom. Freedom to move, to meet, to love, to make the world more diversified, to make it more beautiful and to keep it open. And should you one day to choose this industry, I want you to take this very serious and remember my word. Travel is the start engine of the global economy. It's a silent peacekeeper. It brings increased understanding between people and cultures. It advances society because we learn to appreciate diversity and we understand our desperate need for each other and unity. In a digital world, physical meetings are more important than ever, and I think travel is the ultimate killer app, and it makes this planet a better place. You must remember that the travel industry is the most important industry in the world, and it's the lubricant of our way of lives, now more than ever. If we do what we do with a considerate heart, we contribute to a better tomorrow for humankind. And a last word, since you always know that I want the last word. Remember to be kind to the check-in attendant because kindness is a shortcut to an upgrade. Love, Dad.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephan, for that really honest and heartfelt letter to Hannah. And, you know, and how you reminded us of the real values, the real values we need to cling to and that we need to fight for, which is the freedom to travel at some point, and that travel is the start engine of the global economy. So thank you so much for that. And I hope that Hannah reads this letter and she will decide that she is gonna join us in travel, because we need talent like Hannah. Thank you so much, Stephan from Africa. Thank you.